The bigger problem is that's the tip of the debt iceberg. What we don't focus on are the unfunded liabilities. So Americans are expecting Social Security checks. People who work for the government are expecting pensions. The government has guaranteed, a lot of pensions, bank accounts, student loans. Right, the government is on the hook for hundreds of trillions. And so these are actual liabilities that if the government were a private company, it would have to recognize them and have reserves, a contingency plan.
Right.
But the U.S. government just assumes that none of those contingent liabilities exist. So we are in debt to a much greater degree than anybody believes, right? Because the people who are waiting for Social Security, they think they're owed that money. Right, but the government doesn't have, the trust funds don't have the money, so it's a liability to the people, but it's not part of the national debt. The national debt just covers outstanding U.S. Treasuries. That's it. It doesn't cover any of the mortgage-backed securities that the U.S. government guarantees. Right? Why aren't they included? Right? So it's a lie to say we only have $39 trillion in debt. We have much more than that.
So if I were a regular company, just to finish up your enthymime here, if I were a regular company and I owed a lot of money to a lot of people and I didn't have it in my reserves, I would not be able to just make it up out of thin air and continue to pay it. But isn't that exactly what our government is doing?
Yeah. If a private company reported its a balance sheet the way the U.S. government did, they'd lock them up for fraud. Right? I mean, so you can't do that. We're running a giant Ponzi scheme. Bernie Madoff had that part right. You remember when they originally charged Bernie Madoff with running his Ponzi scheme, he said, well, look, the U.S. government is running the biggest Ponzi scheme out there.